But you miss an important state, Arizona.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I came to Arizona in 1995. I started out my career in Chicago with AARP, working in these workforce programs, working specifically with business and industry. We had a very successful program in the Midwest in relating to business and industry. I was asked in 1992 to come and bring that same program to the Intermountain West. And so in Salt Lake City, I moved in 1992 to Salt Lake City to develop the workforce programs in those 8 states in the Intermountain West. And 3 years after I went to Salt Lake City, AARP went through a major change. And I'm making reference now to opening those offices that we were talking about. And so out of our 10 area offices, 5 of them closed as area offices. We kept the 5 largest as regional offices, and then we began to open state offices. So I ended up going to Arizona in 1995 to open the Arizona State Office, and I've been there ever since. But let me tell you, Arizona has had some very innovative practices, and we have developed some very good leadership for AARP in Arizona. As a matter of fact, my very first state president ended up being the national president of AARP. My next state president ended up being on the National Policy Council.
Would you mind sharing the names?
Sure. Eric Olson, Dr. Eric Olson was the national president. He was my first state president. I remember recruiting him and going to a restaurant. And you know, Eric used to tell me that it was the meal that actually got him to come to AARP, but I know that that's not true. And he was a very successful national president of AARP. He was followed by a gentleman by the name of Rich Stephen, and Rich Stephen is now on our National Policy Council. He was our Arizona State President for 6 years. And now our state president is Dr. Leonard Kirshner, and Dr. Kirshner, very well-known healthcare expert, asked to speak all over the country on issues of healthcare. He, at one time, was the director of the Arizona Medicaid program. So you know that we in Arizona have been very successful in recruiting high caliber volunteers, and that's what is really moving our state forward.
Amazing story. David, would you mind sharing with us, throughout the history of AARP, the ages, the age requirements, and then the fees?
Oh, yes.
The dues to being a member. I think that's important to include in this interview.
Absolutely. Back when I came to AARP in 1983, as I mentioned, it was $5 to be an AARP member. It was $6 to be an AIM member. And then as we grew, and of course as the economy changed and expenses changed, and the cost of producing such a high quality, high caliber magazine and providing all the services and programs that AARP has to offer, we have had to increase our dues over the course of the years. Whereas today, it is $16 to be a member of AARP. You can get a reduction in that if you buy a membership that extends longer than the single year. But let me tell you, it is well worth every penny. The magazine itself is worth the $16.50, let alone all the goods and services that come with being an AARP member. And as I mentioned, it was 55 years of age that one had to be before they could join AARP. Now it's age 50, and nearly half of our members today are still in the workforce. So that's one of the reasons why we dropped the R word, retirement, from our name.
Another important point, I think, is AARP, we're not funded by the government. So I would like to ask you to explain to us, how do we fund our work?
A lot of people ask that question. We are a membership organization and we are in business for our members. That's why we're there. Some people think we're an insurance company, and nothing could be further from the truth. We are not an insurance company. Dr. Andrus, when she founded the organization, wanted an opportunity for people to get health insurance later in life. And as a result of that, we have continued that all through the years. And we put that out for bid. And an insurance company has to provide a good product. They have to have a good reputation. And AARP puts it out for bid. And you'll find that there are many services that we provide our members, and this is one opportunity that AARP has. We are not the insurance company, but an insurance company does provide good service for our members, but we don't own them, and they don't own us. But here's the reality. As a result of policies that are sold to our members, AARP does receive an administrative allowance for those policies that are sold. And the money that AARP earns from that administrative allowance goes into our organization to help us represent our members. Also, there is funding as a result of advertising in our magazine. Now, keep in mind that AARP, the magazine, is the #1 magazine in circulation in the country, which means that we can command a healthy dollar for advertising in our magazine, and the money that AARP earns through advertising in our magazine goes right back into the community. It goes right back into services for our members in AARP. So our board of directors are all volunteers. They do not get paid. And so the money that goes into AARP is money that goes back into providing the community services that we offer as an organization. And when you think about the money that AARP earns during the course of the year, you can rest assured that it is poured back into the community, representing our members, not only in programs, but also legislatively. It gives us the opportunity to be there at the State House as well as in Congress, representing our members not only on federal issues, but in every state capital. You're going to find AARP members there lobbying on behalf of issues that affect people 50 years of age and over.
Communications. Would you share with us how communication has evolved? We understand that Modern Maturity was the initial name of the magazine, but communication with the AARP, with its members, has evolved tremendously.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, you'll find that AARP as an organization really keeps up with the times. I mean, we have gone digital. We are part of social media today. We communicate with our members certainly through the mail, but guess what? It's expensive to mail things, but we can reach a lot more people today on the internet. AARP has our own website, aarp.org, and you will find that our members can type in www.aarp.org, and they can get an absolute wealth of information on issues that affect them in their everyday life. So we communicate with our members through our website. And one of the programs that is highly effective in AARP is Create the Good. We've also created another website for our members called createthegood.org. And they can go on that website and find ways that they can serve their community. And so in addition to our bi-monthly magazine and our monthly AARP news bulletin, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. you can find us on our website. And so we're using every means possible to communicate with our members. But guess what? In addition to all this technology, and in addition to the written page, you can find us on television, you can find us on radio, and you know what? We still communicate face to face. Our members who love our organization tell their friends about us. So we have just about every means of communication to get our message across.
No doubt AARP exists to serve its members. I can just see from your sharing how AARP evolves to meet the rising needs.